So, I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. Ever since Amorous ended, I've been kind of out of my element, and let's not kid ourselves. That's kind of the reason why you all came to me. So, how about we start a new game? And I mentioned that I wanted to start a female playthrough and a Douchebag McGee playthrough. Let's start with Douchebag McGee playthrough. Basically, I'm going to make an unoriginal character name, and I'm going to make a stereotypical furry. Try to make him like an emo douchebag. And we're going to pick all the bad dialogue options and see how far we get. That's the plan anyway. I don't know how far that's going to get me. I'm just going to let the prologue play a little bit for those that haven't seen the game yet. Oh man, I can just taste the pina colada now. So that smooth guitar solo. It does wear thin. When this is all you've ever known, the beach gets gradually less interesting the more you see it. The constant barrage of skimpy trunks, lacy bikinis, and a culture that embraces its liberal sexuality. I suppose I could see why it's such a big deal for outsiders. Maybe I'm just a little spoiled. I guess I'm just a little bit of a stick in the mud. School and work always got in the way, you know? Anyway, there's more to life than trying to hook up with everyone in senior year. I never really found the time to date after graduation, drifting apart from friends who had a different mindset. I see enough of that at home from my libido-driven brother. Yeah, the sweet serenade of the alarm goes off again. Time to get up and face reality. I'm beginning to wonder why I even set this thing in the first place. Feels like every morning I sleep past my hour, just a little longer. I guess it's pretty easy when there's nowhere you're expected to be in an hour. 11 a.m. At least, I can still consider it breakfast if I get up now. My motivation seems like it's extra low this week. Saturday morning and it feels like the middle of the week still. Oh wait, I just remembered. Kobe invited his friends over today. Watching them get all touchy-feely gets kinda weird, considering we still share a bedroom. Yeah, screw that. I'm not going to pretend to be asleep while they swap saliva. At least he's over at their place most of the time. If I'm quick, I could dodge a bullet and sneak out of the house before having to say hi. Alright, so we're going to be a stereotypical irresponsible furry. Make all the best choices. And when I say the best, I mean the worst. So far, so good. No sound of anyone when I was in the kitchen. I could grab a shower when I get back. Though, I guess it still didn't work. I still didn't work out what I'm going to do as an escape plan. I may as well decide on that now. Alright. Go for a drive and see if there's anything fun in town. Sounds like a great plan. It's probably being stuck at home that's making me all philosophical in the mornings. Some fresh air will do me wonders. It's a bit of an odd hour to catch a movie. All the good flicks are on in the evening. I could always grab a towel and head down to the gym or the beach. It's a beautiful day either way. It'd suck to waste it inside.
Hey there! It's my little ray of sunshine. You're looking chipper this morning.
Damn it, Kobe. Give me a heart attack, why don't you? I didn't even know you were in the home already. Where the hell are your clothes? Don't tell me you and your boyfriend are already doing it in my bedroom.
Hey, that's not very nice. Can't little brother say good morning? Anyway, it's our bedroom, and don't you forget it. Just because you're in here all the time doesn't mean it's yours all day.
Yeah, I guess I get that part. But the only time I ever see you in it, is when you're getting bonked by some dude you just met. Excuse me for being a little bitter, especially when I'm trying to get some sleep and all I can hear is some bed squeaks and some bird squawks. Is he in there now? Spent and sleeping like a kitten, I bet. I might need to grab a few things.
For your information, it's just you and me at home. That's why I'm in my underwear. Don't you ever walk around the house in the nude when no one's watching?
You do it even when I'm around to see it, Cobes.
Anyway, yeah, my friend, he isn't here.
When's he getting here then? I just want to know how long I'll have the bathroom to myself before you're being thrown up against the glass.
He isn't coming at all. He dumped me this morning via text.
Whoa, that's awful, man. What a jerk way to go about it.
I was wondering, can I just spend the day with you? To cheer up, I mean.
He seemed like a nice guy from when I met him. Sorry, Cobes. You want to hang out? Let me think for a second. You caught me off guard, right when I was in the middle of doing something. Well, you know what? Screw you, Kobe. I'm gonna go off and do my own thing. 'Cause, you know, if I don't look out myself, who will? I'm sorry, Cobes. It sucks that you got dumped and all, but I already had a bunch of stuff planned today. I'm not always going to be around when your dates go sour. Don't you use those eyes on me. It ain't gonna work this time.
Please?
No. Kobe. No. Dude. No.
I promise I won't be a bother. I'm not as tough as I pretend to be, you know. I feel like I'm gonna cry if I'm left alone.
Alright, fine. You can tag along. But just today. No funny business.
I knew I could count on you. You're always there for me. We hardly spend time together these days anyway.
Well, you're hardly home. And when you're not working, you're crashing at a friend's place. Probably up to no good as usual.
If you wanted me around more, you could have just told me. Remember when we used to share a queen-size bed together? You couldn't sleep unless I cuddled up next to you.
Come on, that was years ago. Plus it'd be weird now. We aren't kids anymore.
Doesn't exactly change much to me. Speaking of sharing beds, is there anyone that you're thinking about bringing home? Are they cute? You certainly seem tired out when I get home. What? I'm just saying.
Don't tease. You know I haven't seen anyone in that way since high school. Even then, I never really took my relationships seriously.
You don't have to take them seriously to have fun and enjoy yourself. Not getting frisky is probably why you've been so mopey lately.
I'm not mopey.
Pent up then?
It's not that. It's just not working for a few weeks kind of gets me down is all. I'm going to have to sell some things soon to afford rent.
Should have told me you were feeling down. Hey, don't worry about the stuff this week, okay? I'll cover the rent for this week for spending time with me.
The way you say it makes me sound like some jerk who needs to be compensated for time spent with my stepbrother. I love you, Cobes. But not in a gay way. In a super gay way. It's just seeing you with boyfriends all the time I can't seem to find anyone for myself gets a little frustrating.
Hey, it's no sweat off my back. You covered my butt plenty of times when you were working. It's a shame you got laid off, though. You seem like you were good at that one.
Couldn't really help that they downsized the whole department.
Yeah, it sucks. But you don't like me bringing friends around whilst you're home? I'll stop inviting them if it's going to frustrate you.
Nah, I love it when you're here. It's just, well, I see you. You finished school. You're out of the house most of the time, working and loving life. Exploring your sexuality, and here I am, I'm back at square one. Huh, I was wondering if I should even bathe today. Big decisions.
You're too sweet. You're not too far behind. You just need a little kickstart and you'll be back on track. I can't really help you out with the job hunting, but how about you and me go out on the town tonight and check out the clubs? I could use a fresh start myself, especially after this morning.
I really feel like being around a bunch of people tonight. Can't we just stay home and just hang out instead? I just kind of want to mellow out, dude.
You said you would spend the day with me. I want to do some stuff in town with you. We've never been to a club together.
Well, I'm not going to let you get your way completely with that puppy dog eye trick. We'll do what I want till we go out then. Deal?
Yay! You got a deal. Let me know when you want to go down and I'll be down.
Give me a sec to think about something fun.
I see no good coming from this.
Let's play a video game, bro.
Oh, that's gonna be fun for a while. Can we play a co-op game? I'll have to go easy on your dad this time for being so nice to me.
It was the first time myself and Kobe had a dedicated day to each other for as long as I could remember. We seem to become We seemed to have become distant during high school, and it kind of stuck that way ever since. Maybe this club thing wouldn't be so bad after all. I hadn't even thought about meeting new people outside of work or school for a while. I put on an easy two-player game that we could both play together. He loved platformers, but wasn't very good at them. On the other hand, he could easily whip my butt in most of the fighting games. He leaned on me in game, just like he did physically on the sofa. Even though he was having difficulty, I could tell he was enjoying himself. It wasn't long until he convinced me to throw down on competitive games. We started up a recent shooter, giving him a mental nudge and ribs every time I caught him spying on my side of the screen. He was better at those games, almost winning as much as I did. I was glad their parents were out when it turned out to be playful verbal abuse. We had just enough time to squeeze in a few rounds of his favorite fighting game. I have no idea when he became so good at him, but no matter what character he picked, he seemed to know what he was doing far better than I did. He was especially actually using his special moves and combos. I was stuck spamming the moves I knew randomly and hoping for the best. He gave me a big hug before pointing out the time. If we wanted to go out tonight, we had to get ready soon.
Hey, can I use the shower now, or are you going to make me climb in there after you?
It's all yours. By the way, what should I be wearing this thing anyway? Is there a theme? I don't have to wear that, do I?
If you want to wear just your underwear, I'm going to be your wingman. Wingman, get it? But really, wear whatever you want. This place has pretty flexible dress code. Take your time, pick something nice while I'm in there, okay? Hey, on a side note, can I borrow that towel? I didn't bring mine over.
Can't you use the other one? There's like 5 of them in there.
That's my favorite color. Plus, you're practically dry now anyway. I'll let you off the hook this time. Better swim me off my feet when I get back. I'll leave the bathroom door open just a sliver, just in case you need me.
I'm sure I can dress myself. Go get cleaned up. We should get going soon. Alright, Noah and Kobe, he's going to be in there for like ages. I'll have plenty of time to get ready. Now it's just a matter of figuring out where to start.
Oh boy. This is my favorite part. Okay. So, like I said before, we are going to make this guy a emo fuckboy. Edge. Yeah, that sounds like a good stereotypical name for somebody. Let's see, body color. I'm trying for the goth look. Uh-oh. I didn't mean that. Well, let's go with it anyway. I'm actually kind of curious. So far, so good. Okay, so I don't want to sacrifice that yet, necessarily. Man. Oh, that's kind of weird. I'm still playing with that. Clearly clicked on the head color. Alright, I think... Oh, actually, yeah. Go with that. Okay, this is slowly getting closer to what I was imagining. Looking good. At least, I'd like to think it's looking good. Alright, we're gonna go back to the body because that is seriously bugging me. I think I can say, like, mostly white. Actually, let's go with a nice shade of gray. It didn't look too weird that way. I'm still good with this. Legs, head. What about his muzzle? Okay, that's slowly getting there. Oh yeah, that looks even better. Okay, we're gonna definitely keep that. I'm not sure why, like, the teeth color wouldn't be, like, matter here when you can't actually see his teeth, but... Okay, I guess it's like, you know, peaceful assurance sort of thing, that, like, peace of mind. He doesn't have horns. He's got ears. Yeah, there we go. I like that contrast look. Hairs and fringes. Let's see. Nah, that looks weird. Let's go with that. Make it pure white. I kinda wish you can do like the black tips at the end. So far, the options that they gave you, turns out, haven't really made much of a difference, like, to begin with. So, yeah. What color should his eyes be? Red. No, wait. Let's pick his iris. How's about passive? Hasn't really changed much. Alright, we're gonna give him a sheath. But he doesn't have balls. There we go. I think a white sheath and black balls would be great. Yep, there we go. That's looking pretty good. Alright, so let's go back to his legs. Something about that inner thigh mark is kind of weird to me. Let's see, under thigh, there we go. And can we do something about... Doesn't really change much. Black tail, white tail, I can't decide. I'll go with that. Feet, beast. Large. Oh, fuck. I don't want him that large. Yeah, there we go. Feet color. That's just gonna look weird compared to his, like, hands. Let's go back to his foot, his paws. Alright, so... I think that's as good as we're gonna get it. He's not supposed to be a serious character anyway. This is purely gonna be for a joke sort of thing. As for his phone, let's make it black. Alright. So we named him Edge, the Husky. Back to the prologue. Can I save this template? I guess not. Let's head back to the prologue. You will not be able to change your persona later. Are you sure this is how you want to look in game? Yes, sir. Hey, Edge. Did you move the conditioner? Mine just ran out. Could you? No, whoa. Do you mind? Just letting it hang out for a while? You look for an outfit, huh? Well, for reference, if you came up to me like that and asked me out, I'd be all for it. Har, har. I know you're not used to getting dress codes, but you tend to need to strip down to put new clothes on.
Anyway, per bird, I'm sure the club has slightly more restrictions on clothing.
Yeah, it sucks.
The scary thing is, I can't even tell if he's joking or not. I guess it'd make it easier to tell a few things about someone. Get back in there and finish up, bro, and stop distracting me.
Look like you're admiring yourself in the mirror to me.
And where's your towel, Mr. Preachy?
Guess I didn't think of that. Anyway, I still need to rinse. I can go change in the bathroom if you're not comfortable around me.
You just caught me at an awkward moment is all. Nothing either of us hadn't seen before. I saw a new conditioner bottle under the sink. Finish up quick. We shouldn't have to stand around here all night like a pair of nudists. I'll have underwear at least by the time you're back, I promise.
Sounds fair to me. Just don't take forever, or I get to dress you.
I better decide on an outfit before he gets back. Okay, I need an outfit that really expresses me. Well, better cut down on the options. I identify as something else.
Sounds about right.
Pronouns are important, but I'm comfortable with my body. Narrows things down a bit. Now wardrobe on the wall.
Okay, right now I'm thinking the biker punker look, but
flashy rave gear would get me noticed.
Hey, that's where those shorts went. Guess I can't blame my having a sibling with style. The rave look suits you.
You going like that?
I don't see any problem with it. You don't like?
It's not that.
Well, it's not for you. You get underwear at Kobe free of charge. Everyone else has to work for it. Let's get going then.
I decided to let Kobe drive since he knew the way. He was such a regular, and I dated one of those bouncers briefly, that we didn't have to worry about waiting in line once we got there. It was one of those clubs. Once the staff knew you, you were fine. Otherwise, you had to be very patient to see everything inside. We drove through the illuminated side of town. The sun now is well on its way to setting. Nightlife bustling all around us. Run bars and waterfront restaurants. Kobe kept reassuring me that we'd have a blast. I think he could read my nerves pretty easily. I got myself into this without really thinking about it though. What if the club filled with the type of guys Kobe liked to date? He's not always the best judge of character. He can be way too nice to everyone, and I'm certainly a bit more picky than that. I suppose technically, Kobe had his long-distance boyfriend to anchor him down these days, but he wasn't exactly looking to head home empty-handed. His boyfriend knew what a free spirit he was, and they had some sort of an agreement once they were apart. Kobe always seemed to find someone who would take advantage of this carefree attitude, though. On the flip side, I should probably be a little bit more adventurous if I don't want to spend all my time trying to... It trailed off. Back of the line, kids. If I see another line cut, you're going to be kissing the curb.
Hold up, don't you recognize this cutie?
Ah, Kobe. Sorry, champ, didn't see you there. You and your friend come in.
Thanks again, big guy.
Whoa, that was really cool of them to let us in so easy. I knew you were friends with the bouncers, but I didn't realize it was that close.
I met him through my friend at Virgins. It's a long story, but let's just say he has a soft spot for cute guys.
A simple, I did him a favor would have sufficed. I just appreciate you getting us in, pal. I've never been to a club like this. I wasn't exactly experienced in the club scene at all, honestly, but I didn't want him prodding me about it and psyching myself out.
Anytime. Hey, I'm gonna go dance for a bit and hopefully catch someone's attention. If you need me, just come find me. Have fun and explore around.
Alright, Cobes. You go have fun. I'll come go see you if I get bored. Off he goes, already rocking his hips to the music as he disappears around the corner towards the source of the pulse-quickening beat. I didn't want to smother him or cock-block him if he met new people. I was going to cheer him up. I might as well look around and figure out what to do from here. Party's in there, guys. Got some teens I gotta deal with. Okay, douchebag. Alright, so I'm sure you all noticed that I basically said, hey, I'm going to be a douchebag this playthrough. Problem with that is you kind of need some successful interaction with people if you're going to be able to date them in future scenes. So I might have to sort of curb that rule I mentioned in order to actually successfully get people's contact information. Then I get to be douchebag McGee. But since I saved, I can pick all the worst dialogue options. Despite him being alone at the bar in one of the most active nightclubs I'd seen in recent memory, that wasn't what drew my eye to the slender feline leaning against the bar. Instead, it was his odd mannerisms. At times, he would just scribble frantically in that leather-bound journal spread out before him. At others, he would lift his glass from the bar and lean back, pausing as if to drink something that was expecting him to. The adorable ruse was undermined, though, however, as each slip was followed by a grimace of barely contained disgust. I moved my seat closer to his, stealing a glance or two at what he was doing. I'm kinda nosy like that. The whole page was packed from end to end with a stream of consciousness, broken on only by occasional notes and edits. I must have started reading, because I became aware of his eyes locked on me, with the ends of his mouth turning downward.
Pardon me, it's not really polite to read over someone's shoulder, particularly the shoulder of a complete stranger.
Sorry. Just, you seem to be working so intently. I was wondering what could keep you so engrossed when when the entire nightclub is pumping and thumping around you.
Who's to say that pumping and thumping don't help to contribute to my creativity? Being immersed in the beating heart of popular culture can stimulate the mind.
Fair enough. Myself, I usually prefer a little peace and quiet if I'm going to be working on something important. Particularly because strange people might come up and start reading over your shoulder, like me.
I'll admit, it's an escape, but it's also to help me get through the creative process. Many famous authors immersed themselves in the popular culture of their day and drew near new experiences and to observe people in their new environments.
I suppose that's true. I thought most of them indulged, in part, because it was their particular interest more than their strict research. You don't strike me as the type to write romance or erotica, though.
Why would you think that? I mean, I don't, but why would you assume that is my only motivation for me to be at this club?
Mostly because the staff is wearing half the clothing you are, and I came here with my brother Kobe because this is his favorite place to meet guys for a fling. You have to admit, your choice of ambience suggests something a little more than curiosity about popular culture. By now he was blushing furiously, the spots of red visible beneath his snowy white cheek fur. Despite his attempt at appearing aloof, something about his relative discomfort in being here. I'm not here to judge, it's just, well, interesting. I get enough stories from Kobe to get an idea of how this place turns to function, and you appear to be actively avoiding that function.
Well, I'm honing my craft, trying to push myself out of my comfort zone so I have a breadth of experience to write from. It's the sort of thing authors do.
You sure you're not just lonely, bud? Are you sure you're not just lonely? It's the major reason people come here, you know. Aside from drinks and the dance floor.
Is this a blatant attempt to hit on me? I assure you I'm not just some random hookup with a guy up to my self-esteem.
Are you sure? Because I don't recall us discussing each other's sexual preferences, and yet you suggest I'm trying to hit on you.
It's not an unreasonable assumption, as you've suggested. It's a social place, and there are plenty of sexually flexible individuals here.
And yet you assume I'm here to hit on you specifically, and that such would boost your self-esteem? He stammered for a moment, his mouth opening as if to speak before he fell silent. A short, flustered snort flared his nostrils as he moved to pack up his things. You're leaving just because of that? Don't you think you're being a little oversensitive about this? I'm
trying to get things done here, and I certainly don't need some random stranger showing up and casting aspersions about my intentions.
So, you being in a social environment and admitting you came here because the people doesn't seem to suggest anything, why are you so upset about admitting you might be here to meet people? He shoved his notebook hard into his shoulder bag, spinning around to face me around the table with his eyes narrowed and smoldering with rage.
I'm upset because I just want to work. I want to relax. I don't want to dance or gyrate. I'm not here to look cute or lost. I'm just here to get away from a bit, that's all.
He let out a long sigh, collapsing back into his seat and closing his eyes for a moment.
Sorry, it's just apparently looking over like the lost little lamb is an aphrodisiac to most people here. Most of my evening has been spent rebuffing others of sexual favors, and suggestions that I should loosen up and join them in the bathroom for a fling. Well, if I may be so bold, what brought you to the club tonight? Since you clearly aren't driven by a desire to quietly observe, nor are you obviously looking to get drunk or dance, I'm curious as to what your motivation is.
Mostly, I guess, to keep myself occupied or distracted. Kobe, my brother, very much likes this place, but doesn't always want to go alone. I needed time away from my problems, and he wanted a ride. A match made in, well, necessity. I was gonna say heaven.
Well, then, where else might you have gone if you had an option? Ignoring cost, location, or any of that.
I've always wanted to travel a little bit more, to see more places in the world. I haven't had a chance to get out of town. Maybe even travel to another country and immerse myself in the culture. I mean, it's great to be here, and sometimes you just want to explore, you know what I'm saying? My answer seemed to intrigue him. He bobbed his head a few times in agreement as he jotted down a few notes.
I've always thought it was important to learn things about another culture. It helps you to better understand your own, not to mention the sheer joy of exploring.
He seemed to be thrilled about his pseudo-interrogation and looked back up to his notebook with excitement.
So, being that we are in this club and you're already expressed a curiosity as to why I'm here, what do you like about this club?
Relaxing. I'm just here to relax, bro. Get away from my mundane problems and enjoy myself. I've done the 9-to-5 grind for too much of my life already. Looking thoughtful, he nodded a few times and smiled. His pen dipped back into his notebook and he added a few more scribbles to the rapidly filling page.
Goodness knows, I need a break or two now and again, too. A writer's life, though seemingly serene, is packed with deadlines, creative blocks, critique, editing, the list goes on. So we've established where you want to be and why you want to be there, but the big question is to whom you want to be with. What kind of person would you want to be looking for at this club?
I get the feeling that this is a somewhat pointed question. I also get the feeling that there's something more going on here than simple research. He shot me a Cheshire look grin and placed a hand on my chest in mock shock. Clearly he was enjoying this intimate game of 20 questions. You. To be honest, you. I said about exploring the club at first, but you definitely caught my eye. There's a reason I'm here, not in some pool or down on the dance floor, because you intrigue me. I am totally saying that from the bottom of my heart, not just making it up on the fly. He shifted a whole new shade of red as I smiled from the stool next to him. Absently, he looked away to scribble down his notebook or two, before looking back up to me and clearing his throat to hide his shy response.
Well, it's always nice to be noticed. Though, I'm not usually the type of person to stand out physically. I mean,
I wasn't sure what it was more adorable, his attempts to cover up his embarrassment, or the light shade of pink showing off those snowy white cheeks. Alright, one more question, and I should really find Kobe and figure out what he has planned for the rest of the night.
I suppose I have been prying pretty heavily. That said, you have been a very interesting character study, to say the least. It's rare I actually get to interact with someone.
I'd hoped I was more than just an intellectual diversion. Is that not the case?
I didn't mean it like that. I mean, it's been interesting talking with you. I've been here for a couple of hours already, and you're the first person who stopped and talked and didn't want to take a drink order.
I smiled and leaned on the bar. He was awfully cute when he desperately tried to regain his composure. So what's the last question? He hesitated, glancing down at his notebook for a second before scribbling something in the margins. As he looked back up, I could see his cheeks were still quite flushed.
I was thinking about heading to the library tomorrow to do some research for a story, and there was a reading I was thinking of going to. Could I convince you to come along?
Nah. Look, the 20 questions thing was kind of fun, but I don't think you're what I'm looking for. Wow. Nothing personal, you're adorable, but just not my type.
Oh, I see. Well, taking risks and all that. Nice to have met you. Maybe I'll see you around sometime.
He began to awkwardly gather his things, stealing the occasional glance back at me before he finally slid off his stool. He stood there for a long moment, taking one last look over before flashing a brief smile and making his way towards the door. Maybe I had been a little too hasty. I hopped off my stool and rushed over to the door to catch him before he vanished. You know what? Why not? You've been wanting to try new things. I should too. That's part of why I came.
Really? That's great to hear. Let me get you my number.
He hastily wrote his number down on a sheet of paper torn from his notebook. We exchanged some promises to call before he headed out the door. After he left, I slipped the paper into my pocket, heading back towards the dance floor. Okay. Who should I go after next? I'm probably going to pick one other person before I possibly start that new playthrough with a female character. I had some ideas about what I was going to do with that. But, you know. I really wanted to avoid Sky, but I think I'm going to go for it. There's a brightly colored fox sitting by herself. She seems bored, her head resting on her palm. There's no harm seeing if she wants some company. Kick the table sounds like a great plan. I give the nearest leg of the table a firm bash with the heel of my foot, causing a loud creaking thud. She seemed to have thrown off completely off her seat in surprise, her glass of water almost teetering over before calming. She began exhaling heavily, her hand covering her chest.
Holy shit! That scared the hell out of me! You almost gave me a heart attack! Why'd you go and do that anyway? Who does that to someone? You have a very interesting way of getting someone's attention.
Look, I'm sorry. I thought it was funny, but it wasn't. Can we start over? My name's Edge, if you'd like to have someone to chat with.
It's okay. I've overacted a little bit as well. My sense of humor is a little low at the moment. I've been having a quiet night, and I was just thinking of tuning out. Did you say your name was Edge?
Yeah, it is. I've had a bit of a frustrating evening, too. I shouldn't have used you to vent it out. Did you get dragged here by a friend as well?
Yeah, that happened to me, too. And it's my party of all things.
Your party?
My school friends insisted they'd treat me and get me out by taking me to a club. Don't get any funny ideas. I'm finished with school and all. They just like to keep me in contact now and then.
Why? Are they bad friends or something?
No, it's not that. They mean well and all. It's just I just don't really have anything in common with them. It's not my thing to go clubbing and get drunk and grind against all these guys and stuff. I was only really friends with them in school because they were in my classes.
How come you aren't closer with your friends then?
I have close friends. They just live far away. I talk to them nearly every day on the internet. One of them did want to come see me for my birthday, but she was busy. We meet up every few months at these convention things I go to. I'm sorry, I'm probably keeping you out, aren't I?
Yeah. It's a little weird for a girl like you to be so out of touch. It's good for you to get out more.
I'm sorry, I know I'm a bit of a dork. How about we change the subject? That's if you still want to talk.
Yeah, let's talk about something else. Anything in particular you want to ask me?
Not really.
She seems kind of upset that I talked down her personal life. Maybe I should apologize before she loses interest. Hey, I'm sorry for being harsh on you. Could you tell me a little bit more about these cons you go to?
Thanks for being understanding. Most guys either just wants my pants off or just think I'm weird and stop talking to me. I'm not one of those easy girls that will jump on your dick if you so much as flirt with them like some of the others are. Sorry, I'm pretty bad at these first impression things aren't I? My name's Sky, by the way.
Nice to meet you, Sky. No wonder you scare off all the guys. You're sooner to talk about their cock than you are to tell their name.
You're funny. Thanks for sitting with me, Edge. Who knows how long I'd be sitting here waiting for my friends to finish celebrating on my behalf. They've probably forgotten I'm even here at this point. I sure can pick them, can't I? Can I get you a drink or something?
Isn't that something I should be asking you?
Oh, no. Well, I'd appreciate it and everything. It's just I'm not much of a drinker. Plus, my friends need someone to drive us home. If they aren't going home with someone else, of course, which they probably will be.
I'm okay for now, thanks in regards to the drink.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I kinda tend to diverge in tangents a lot. You asked me about the cons I go to, yeah? First, I want to ask you a question. Do you know why I'm dressed this way at the moment?
I give up. I have no clue. Care to tell?
I'm actually a cosplayer. This is one of my favorite outfits to portray one of my favorite characters. I've always been a big fan of cartoons, comics, video game characters, and all sorts of stuff. Dressing up really helps me express myself, and my friends really love it when I do.
I think I know the character you're dressing up as. Hi, Renamon. You look really cute in that outfit. In all honesty, you could probably cast it off as a normal outfit, although a little colorful and, well, kinda high cut.
Thanks. You really look good with what you're wearing as well.
How come you're wearing a costume to a club, though? I don't think you're going to find somebody else here that's into that sort of thing.
I know. It was a bit of a surprise party a week after my actual birthday. My mom pretty much just opened my door and told me, "Your friends are here in the driveway waiting to pick you up." I wasn't going to go out in my normal clothes while my dye was still fresh.
You didn't have time to quickly change?
No, it's not that. When I cosplay, I also dye my fur. I didn't want to go through the trouble of having to explain to my friends why I just went out there like this, where I could just pretend to have someone else.
I think your friends would have known it's just an outfit.
I know, but it helps me cope better when people make fun of me to think I'm not actually there. It's rare I have a day when I'm at home and I'm not dressed up as something.
Let's discourage. That's really unfortunate to hear. Perhaps you could use some counseling to start breaking those needs to get in costume all the time. To be honest, now that I know you aren't even in natural fur color right now, it's a little concerning. Normal girls don't do that kind of stuff. These con friends you say you have are really just there, are just other dorks that have nothing better to do with their lives. Your true friends are out there having the time of their lives out on the dance floor. You should go out there and be having fun with them instead of being cooped up in this booth.
I'm sorry for being different, okay? I'm not taking counseling. I can't believe what you're saying to me. How would you like me to tell you everything you like is stupid and has no meaning?
I was just being honest.
You know what? I'm just gonna go home. I've had enough of this club and its regulars. It's making me physically sick. Do me a favor and find another girl to tell how they should be living their life.
She took her receipt and rammed it into her pocket, raising to her feet in a huff and storming off into the crowd of dancers. It's probably best I leave her alone for now.
Damn, man, that was cold. And predictably... So I actually bombed out with this chick, but somehow I made it with Seth. I'm actually very curious. If I leave the club right now, like, will she be here? Oh, man, that's kind of sad. Alright. I think one more person, and then I'll call it an episode. Because after seeing Sky's reaction, that's actually very depressing to me.
Time on the dance floor seemed a little bit too much like the deep end. Anyway, I didn't want to crowd Kobe. Maybe I should get a feel for the lounge. Speaking of. Over the bustle of the crowd, one of the lounge goers caught my eye. Not least of all because of her outfit stood out above all the clubbing gear of the other patrons. Slipping a cocktail, her sheer slip gave her an outline of undeniable elegance. She seemed happy enough taking shallow sips from her glass, her eyes on one of the girls giving her all on the pole. Maybe I should introduce myself. Not wanting to wait around, I headed over, moving to the beat, slipping in next to the couch. I leaned against the wall, hand on the plush fabric near her shoulder as I used the height difference as an excuse to lean in. Couldn't help but notice you enjoying the show. She didn't pull away, gave me a slight grin. Edge, an absolute pleasure to meet you. A pleasure? Okay, maybe not my best line, but I couldn't help but feel a little intimidated. Her dress made it look like she was straight off a runway.
Mercy, nice to meet you.
She seemed a little preoccupied by the dancers, admired them with keen regard. Maybe she was a dancer herself, or just judging the competition, maybe.
Beautiful, aren't they?
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there. I've never seen so many good-looking people all in one place.
It takes a lot of poise and a certain degree of confidence, of course. Do you see how she holds herself? Haha. I suppose it's a silly question to say I'm envious.
As she took another sip from her drink, her hand wobbled slightly. She was still smiling warmly, but it seemed like her flush was more from the alcohol from the dancers. Was she drunk? I see what you mean. She's got everything going for her. Nice body, nice moves. She really knows how to work it. Mercy took another sip from her drink and smirked. Though flushed cheeks, her eyes were still a brilliant blue. She pointed to the dancer.
Is that the kind of girl you go for?
Ooh. Honestly, she's not exactly rocking anything I'm looking for. Oh, whoops. Letting out a sad grunt, she quickly downed her drink, her cocky expression slipping. What more is there to say?
Well, good luck with that. We're probably wasting each other's time here. I'm gonna go top up. I'll see you around.
Mercy got up without saying anything more, leaving me on the couch by myself. I probably shouldn't be here when she gets back. As she smoothed her dress, crossing the lounge, did I catch a sight of a bulge? Interesting. I figured I'd give Mercy another shot. She was sitting by herself still, looking sullen. Did I do that? If I wasn't mistaken, that was a new drink. How douchey do I want to make this character? Well, she is pretty drunk. Maybe she won't remember. I took a deep breath. She was drunk. It's not like she'd recognized me. I headed over and cleared my throat. She still looked pretty down.
Huh?
Hi, I just saw you from across the club. Do you mind if I sit here with you? I smiled earnestly.
Don't I know you? Great. Well, Edge, congratulations. You really fooled me. Glad I can upgrade you from an asshat to a douchebag.
Before I could react, she stood, splashing her drink in my face, and stormed off. Two of the lounge goers burst out laughing as I rushed upstairs to the restrooms to clean up. Okay, I deserve that. Well, might as well go for gold. Heading over to get a drink from the machine, I noticed a bouncer chatting up with a fairly energetic customer. They seem to be having a good time. Smaller male waggling his hips from side to side as the larger dragon, eyeing the large dragon suggestively. Perhaps this is my chance to meet some new people like Cody suggested. Barge in between them. I decided not to be coy. In an instant, I barged between the two and I leaned back against the vending machine trying to look cool. Sup guys, name's Edge. The fuck you doing? You got about 3 seconds to beat it, buddy. 3.
Huh, give him a second chance, Zenith. I want to see what he says.
If I kept grinning, surely they'd notice how cool I am.
Hey cutie, I wouldn't mess with Zenith. You're pretty adorable, but he wouldn't waste any time in tossing you out.
I could feel it. Any second now, my coolest meter would just burst off the charts. 1.
Alright, weirdo. Suit yourself. Go ahead and give the curb a kiss for me.
Here it comes, the big payoff from me playing it so cool. Alright pal, I warned you. If I see you hassling anyone in this club again, I won't be so nice next time.
Good night, cutie.
Oh shit, maybe I was being an idiot. It didn't take long for the bouncer to wrap an arm around my neck, easily putting me into a headlock. I scrambled a bit as the missile dragon dragged me away across towards the entrance. I couldn't do a thing against his strength, so all I could do was wait until he tossed my ass onto the pavement in front of the club. He gave one last glare before heading back inside. Well, at least I'll have a funny story from Kobe.
Wow, I'm surprised I could go back inside. Oh wow, they're still here. Okay. You know, after fucking up with Mercy, it's very interesting how embarrassing, like, your character can make themselves be in this game. I'm not even going to start with her this episode. Okay. I'm thoroughly depressed by the conduct of this character, so I'm going to save real quick. See, at first, it really felt like there wasn't much of a, I guess, difference between, like, being a douchebag. But no, there is. And some very interesting things will happen to you. The game's nice enough to give you a second chance here and there, but I don't know. Once you fuck up, I think you fuck up for real this time around. And that's enough for me for right now. I will definitely pick this up later. Catch you guys later. Peace.